All right, so to solve 2 cosine squared of x minus 1, we're going to move the 1 over. So you have 2 cosine squared of x equals 1. And then you're saying divide by 2.
Yes.
So cosine squared of x equals 1/2.
And then cosine of x equals square root of 1 over 2.
So you're saying take square root of both sides?
Yes.
So we got cosine of x, because the square and the square root cancel, equals
1 over square root of 2.
and
Square root of 1 over square root of 2, so square root of 1/2.
almost
Positive negative.
plus or minus. Good. Plus or minus. And then remember, the square root of 1/2 is the same as the square root of 1 over the square root of 2, isn't it? So cosine of x is equal to plus or minus. What's the square root of 1?
Square root of 1.
Over. Do we have an exact square root of 2?
No.
No, so leave a square root of 2, except.
We can't do that,
Good. Can't have the radical on bottom, so let's move it. So cosine of x is equal to plus or minus square root of 2 over 2. So you're telling me cosine of x is equal to negative square root of 2 over 2, and cosine of x is equal to positive square root of 2 over 2.
You're right. Oh my god, that's not
So we got to do both of those now. So for the square root of negative square root of 2 over 2, cosine, remember, it's x over r, but on my unit circle, r is 1. So we're looking for where x is the negative square root of 2 over 2. Where are we at?
Wait, on the negative?
Pi over 4.
On the negative.
Why is it negative?
Because of plus or minus, so I split them. One's positive, one's negative.
Oh, you're doing strand separately. So it can
Yes.
be even.
Why is it?
Well, first I'm just looking for where cosine of x is a negative square root of 2 over 2.
You got 3 pi over 4.
5 pi over 4.
All right? 5 pi over 4.
Pay attention.
And where else? 3 pi over 4.
And 7 pi over 4.
All right, so from here we had 3 pi over 4. And we have 5 pi over 4. Now, what about where cosine of x is equal to the positive square root of 2 over 2?
7 pi over 4.
Okay, so down here it's 7 pi over 4.
And pi over 4.
And that was a really bad line. And positive pi over 4. Let me keep them in numerical order there. So pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4. Now, each of these would have plus 2 pi in, correct?
Yes.
But I want to look at something. Look at, let me change colors here. What color do I want to make it? Let's do blue. Look at these two right here.
Right where?
There.
There. Oh.
What do you notice about those two?
They are.
That's 1 pi bigger.
They're pi apart, right?
Yeah.
So to get from here to here, we could add a pi, and to get from there to there, we would add another pi, and then we could just keep adding pies. Well, but we could just keep adding pi to get to the opposite one, right?
Instead of 2 pi.
So, listen. So we got pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. I can combine those to get one answer. I could say x is equal to then pi over 4 plus, instead of putting 2 pi in, it's going to take me pi to get to the next one. So pi in. Now I didn't leave out the other two. I'm just not done. What do you notice now about 3 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4?
Same thing as the last two.
The same thing. They're pi away from each other, aren't they? So we could start at 3 pi over 4, and if we add a pi, we're going to get to the 7 pi over 4. And if we add a pi, we're going to get back over here. And we could keep going round and round that way. So we can take the 3 pi over 4 and the 7 pi over 4 and rewrite it as x equals 3 pi over 4 plus pi n. And so there I just condensed my two answers to make it where it's smaller when I write it out.